Living Waters presents On the Box.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to On the Box. We have just decided that today is Wednesday.
Yeah. It's been a confusing week. I don't know why.
Yeah, it has.
I think I know why.
I think it's because I'm getting excited. I'm going flying to Atlanta tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I'm going to be out and about on the streets of Atlanta for the Dogwood Festival.
What's that?
I think a dogwood is both a plant and a flower.
Oh, I thought it was a sandwich. Have you ever heard of a sandwich called a dogwood sandwich?
No.
No, me neither.
Oh, okay.
It's a Dagwood sandwich.
Dagwood.
That's right.
Oh, that's Blondie and Dagwood.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, they're big sandwiches. That's a long time ago, Tony.
It is. We both remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went over to Cerritos today?
I went Monday, I went Tuesday, and I went today. Today was terrible.
Didn't get a call.
It was
I'm
terrible.
just saying. Oh,
No,
why
I was just doing one-to-one.
Why was today terrible?
I must have asked, I'm not exaggerating, between 60 and 80 people for interviews, and nobody wanted it. Everyone was busy. They're going to classes and that. But no, it was just a bad day. Yesterday was phenomenal. And it's good to know that we all have bad days. Yeah. So, Romans 8:28, and our labor's not in vain ever.
Amen. Mark is back in the house.
Yes.
Feeling better.
Yeah, you know, I was sick yesterday.
Very.
And, yeah, boy, it wasn't a pretty sight. But there were a lot of people praying for me. So thank you if you're one of those counted in the number for praying for me. I really appreciate it. I got back trying to think of all the videos and stuff I need to do, and I put together a list. I have something like 16 or 17 different video projects that Ray's given me, or Easy's given me. And I said, can you please prioritize these videos? And Ray sent me back an email saying, yikes. You know, you got quite the stuff on the plate.
I thought he sent you back an email with a number 1 beside each one of them.
Yeah, right. He wants everything done yesterday.
No, I'm going to get the scalpel out. I think there's just too many for him. It's overwhelming. It's enough to make you sick.
You know, it's hard when you get so much good footage, so many good interviews.
Yeah.
You want people to see all of them because people are going to be edified and instructed by them.
No, people don't realize how much work is involved.
Tons of
it's
it.
Like,
it's not just your basic throw it up on YouTube.
180 took 9 months from conception to birth.
That's right.
And it was a lot of labor pains. Yeah.
Any postpartum depression after giving birth to that documentary?
Postpartum, no.
No?
Once that baby was in the hands, it's out reproducing of its own kind worldwide, so we're really thrilled.
We are going to really beat these birth analogies into the ground. Do you have any more?
No.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of nausea with them, so let's just move on.
We'll move on. All right. On a serious note, folks, before we bring Trish on the phone, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday when we tried the phone with Manuel in France. Monday. We tried the phone with Manuel in France. And see, it's a confusing week. And you had the phone set up in the right place. I'm going to give credit where credit's due, and I'm going to take all the blame for this. We've got an iPhone jerry-rigged here with a microphone. Oh, we could say stuff like that, Danny, the technical.
No, this is a high-tech phone.
Can't say jerry-rigged. You got to say like
it's a
journey-rigged.
It's a high-tech phone.
It is a high-tech phone.
And we've got some
with
high-tech stuff.
With a high-tech microphone.
Yeah.
Well, I told you, no, Ray, the speaker's not there. It's over there on the phone, and I was wrong, and that's why there was so little volume.
But I said nothing can go wrong, and it did, because Manuel, when we interviewed him, thought the heat was just another test, so he just rambled on about nothing and then said, shall I call you later? And he felt so stupid afterwards, and I feel sorry for him. So things can go wrong.
So
but they won't today, will they, Trish?
Wrong.
She's gone! Oh, no!
All right, okay. Before.
Oh,
Yay!
good, she's here.
All right, if you're in the chat room and you can hear Trish, let us know, okay? All right, but before we do that, though, some serious news about Chuck Colson. This comes from the ChristianPost.com. The headline, Chuck Colson will soon be with the Lord, family gathers at his bedside.
Wow.
Chuck Colson's condition worsened Tuesday, and he may be with the Lord soon, according to a new announcement by Prison Fellowship Ministries. Quote, it is with a heavy but hopeful heart that I share with you that it appears our friend, brother, and founder will soon be home with the Lord, said Jim Lisk, CEO of Prison Fellowship, on Wednesday. Doctors have advised Colson's family to gather at his bedside after the evangelical leader's condition took a decided turn, according to Lisk. Now, he fell ill at a conference not too long ago. Sounds like he had a cerebral hemorrhage and seemed to be doing better, was talking, communicating, joking with family and friends. The doctors were hopeful, but the Lord has had other plans apparently. So be in prayer for Chuck Colson in these last few days or hours or however long he has with us, and certainly his family and all of those who've been blessed by his ministry.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So we have Trish on the phone.
Hello, Trish.
Your turn, Trish.
Hi, guys.
Hi. How are you?
Doing good. I thank you for letting me be your second guinea pig.
We would never refer to Trish as a guinea pig.
No, there must be another word.
No. Now, Trish, before we started the show, you mentioned something about doing some power evangelism this morning. What was that?
Yes, well, we keep getting our permit shut down at the University of North Texas. They keep denying it. So for the past 3 weeks, we've been kind of shut up. So a friend emailed me and said, "Do you want to do an hour of power evangelism?" I said, "Yes." So she came over to the house. We grabbed the 180 DVDs and 180 tracks, which are really good, by the way, because the print on the back is large. They're very good for old folks' homes. If you haven't noticed, that's great for that as well. But we went door to door, and immediately, right when we went to the first house, or it was the second house, there were some window washers outside. So I thought, oh, well, that's perfect. I'll give them a DVD too. And they looked at me and said, "I've already watched that twice."
Wow.
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, well, that's great." I go, "Really? How did you watch it twice?" They go, "We're followers of Ray Comfort."
Window washers following Ray Comfort.
I saw them at our window this morning.
That's right.
Very cool.
Doing evangelism, he goes, "Yeah, and I met you a year and a half ago. I know who you are too." And it was just really neat right away, right off the bat. So we had a great time, left some DVDs with people that opened the doors, said they were excited to watch them.
It's a great window of opportunity. Yeah.
All right. Now, Trish, typically we have an all-male panel here on the show. So
Yes.
I'm a bit hesitant to ask this next question, but I will, because we are all secured in our masculinity, although Mark needs facial hair. What's up with the diaper cake?
Oh, yes. On Saturday, I went to a shower, a baby shower, sorry, guys, and made a diaper cake. And it was a 3-tiered diaper cake, but the neat thing was somehow myself and a friend snagged the sonogram pictures of the baby in my friend Katie's womb, and we put a picture on top of the diaper cake of the baby in the womb, and the mom got 180 DVDs and things, and she loves 180. She's a Christian, so they're going to have a lot of fun.
So were those diapers cloth or disposable?
They were disposable, and they were all clean.
Okay, good, excellent.
Oh, so there is cake in there. There is cake behind it. It's not just a.
No, that's a cake.
Okay, and you put.
No, that is all a diaper cake. All diapers tiered on top of each other, and they're actually.
Oh wait,
quite
it's not
expensive.
edible?
That is not edible. No way. It won't melt. The mom can take it home and drive in hot weather, and then what she does is just takes it apart and uses the diapers. Actually, puts it to good use.
Oh, it sort of sounds better. There's not food inside those diaper cake things.
You're not eating cake out of a diaper.
No, it didn't click for me. But now I can understand what it's about.
So how'd it go this weekend in downtown Fort Worth?
Oh, wow, it went great. We had a team of about 10 of us. Yeah, we prayed at my house and then kind of carpooled down to Fort Worth, and it was happening right away. Very windy, extremely windy, but the wind and the weather doesn't stop the sinners. But right away, Emilio started open air preaching. Then another brother, Chris, got up, and another brother, Dennis Kane, had a big cross out, and we stand on this corner of 3rd and Main. I think you've got a picture.
Yep.
I can see Emilio standing on the corner there.
That's a blonde woman.
And it was lively. I had Celebrity Millions that I was passing out, and a homeless guy came up and said, "Is that real?" And I said, "Well, it's got a very real message on the back." And he ripped it up in front of my face. And I said, "Sir, boy, I just hope you know what you're rejecting." And so that was quite lively. But then there was a group of about 6 ladies that came up to me and were they were so overwhelmed by the open air preaching and what we were doing. They started taking money out of their wallets and handing me $20 bills. And I said, "Oh no, we don't take any money." But they overwhelmed me. It was like 6 against 1. So
You know,
I'll be
so
was that
donating to you
$120?
some money.
Scotty and I were talking about this the other day. When people often hear the gospel, they're so thrilled, they want to support it, and we've learned not to reject it. We say, we don't take money, but if you really insist, we're very grateful. Helps with gas and tracks and stuff like that. So it is good to take it in that respect.
And you can always go to, if you're watching, you can always go to livingwaters.com and click on our partner page. If you don't want to throw us 10s and 20s, you can actually write a check or
that's nice.
Or support the ministry in some other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Brahms. What is Brahms?
You haven't heard of Brahms?
No, is that a local ice cream place or something?
It is. It's kind of like an ice cream shop. Everyone hangs out there, but I didn't know it because it's only the second time I'd ever been to Brahms. And Emilio and I walked in to grab a little corner, a little bite to eat, and afterwards it was happening at like 11:30 at night. Tons of people. There was this Muslim couple, and I walked up to them, gave them gospel tracts. There were some other people sitting down eating, and I just started handing out tracts to everybody in the little restaurant. And the Muslim guy called me over to him, and he said, "Come here." He said, "Come here, what is this?" And I said, "Oh, it has $1 million question on the back. It's a Christian gospel tract, talks about the Lord." He goes, "Oh, I was hoping it was real, and I would split the money with you." And then everyone else in the restaurant, they just started talking, and I ended up fellowshipping with one family that turns out they were Christians, and they wanted more. They came back and wanted more tracts. So it was really neat just to see how many doors open with a small Celebrity Million gospel tract.
Well, that's great. Hey, Trish, we're about out of time, so we're going to check back with you sometime beginning of next week, so we expect you to do a lot of evangelism this weekend.
Okay, God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, have a great day.
Thanks, Trish. Hey, nothing went
bye
wrong.
now.
Bye.
We still have half a show to do.
Oh, okay, well, let's see. I will turn that off.
All right.
I'm just turning the high-tech machine off.
Set phasers to stun.
Whoops.
Now, who's the baby?
That's the 180 baby.
Oh, it is. Oh, that's right. That's the little guy.
Yeah,
we got to hold him, David.
Yeah.
That was neat.
Very
All right.
cool.
Squirrel. All right, first question. Someone asked about books for unbelievers. This is from Sebastian. I'm looking for help in reaching out to my boss at work who is not a Christian. While I never have adequate time to talk with him while working, I know he likes to read books. I really think he would be interested in reading a book that discusses the many Old Testament prophecies that were fulfilled in Jesus. I know books have been written about that, but I don't know any names, any suggestions. And do you know if any of them have been written for unbelievers to read, as in the book that has a clear gospel message, etc.? Now, Mark, I don't know if you know of any specific books regarding prophecy. Maybe you do. But any suggestions for evangelistic books for unbelievers?
Well, it seems that every book that Ray writes has the gospel in there to some degree. But, we do have a handful of books that is designed, if not for both the non-believer and the unbeliever, then for the non-believer specifically. I might suggest grabbing a hold of the Evidence Bible. The Evidence Bible, you can get the little pocket edition. That's filled with scientific facts, medical facts, prophecy, things of that nature. There's lots of eye-opening little quirks and maxim-like sayings that you can find inside the Bible alone. Not to mention, it's a great book to give because you're putting the Word of God into their hands. Scientific Facts in the Bible is a very good little compact book, fairly cheap and easy to hand out. You can lead an atheist to, I think, water, but you can't make them think. Evidence. I'm thinking of something else, right?
Horses.
But we have a handful of books just like that. How to Know God Exists is another book that we carry. Ray, what do you suggest? You've written them all.
Yeah, Nothing Created Everything is a book that's got a special condemnation by Richard Dawkins on the front, so that's different. It's exciting. But yeah, a lot of people get mixed up with that title. You can lead an atheist to evidence, but you can't make him think. I think it's because there's a picture of a horse on the front standing drinking water, and so it gets confusing.
Yeah. How about, which one am I thinking of? Which one am I thinking of, Ray?
How to Train Your Memory.
How to Train Your Memory? That's a good one.
Yeah, you read that?
How about World Religions in a Nutshell? Might that be a good one?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think of More Than a Carpenter by Josh McDowell?
It'd be great if it opened up the law and the commandments and presented the full
I've never actually read it, so I don't know if it does.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so there are some suggestions. You can find all of those at livingwaters.com, livingwaters.com, livingwaters.com. All right. Last week, I think it was last week, I don't know. Remember we had the email from the lady who said, I heard yelling and screaming coming from next door, and I left a tract on the property, I encouraged her to call the police next time, and then we got the angry email saying, no, you should not call the police, you should invite people over for cake and cookies. Mm-hmm. Read this story on Fox News. Pennsylvania teen brandishing axe shot by police. Cops arrived at the Upper Derby, Pennsylvania home after receiving a 911 call around 1:17 a.m. local time from a 19-year-old who said he was going to kill himself and his family. MyFoxPhilly.com reported. The suspect's mom then answered the front door with no clue why the officers were at home, according to Superintendent Michael Chitwood of the Upper Derby Police Department. When police began searching the house, the unnamed male jumped out from a closet and began swinging an axe, striking one of the officers on the arm, police said. The officer then fired 2 shots at the suspect, striking him. The 19-year-old, who has a history of mental illness, was taken to the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania and is listed in critical condition. However, the officer struck by the axe is fine. The suspect was lying in ambush, so it looks like it is a attempt suicide by cop, Chitwood asked. If you hear yelling and screaming coming from next door, call the police. You don't necessarily want to invite an axe-wielding teen over to your house for milk and cookies.
Boy, we need to pray for our police. I wouldn't be a police officer if you paid me all the tea in China.
No, it's a dangerous job.
You'd go into people's homes. There's all sorts of crazies in there, and people jumping out behind closets with axes. He could have had a gun.
Yeah.
You know, could have a machete. Yeah, you guys are very, very courageous.
Every 57 hours, a man or woman who is a police officer dies in the line of duty.
Wow.
Wow.
And 3 times that many or more commit suicide every year.
Wow. Yeah, I seriously, if I had a gun and some guys run at me with an axe, I don't think I'd hesitate. It's a frightening situation to be in.
Yeah. All right. From bad to worse.
Impossible.
No, it's true. Where is it? Where'd it go? Did you take my story?
I didn't.
Someone took my story?
Just make one up.
This just in from Martin's studio.
Came all the way from Mark's special messenger.
Killer swan blamed for man's drowning.
Don't look at me like that. I was very saddened by this. Yeah.
I wasn't looking for a laugh.
Well, I just about did.
Okay. An angry swan is being blamed for knocking a man out of his kayak in a Chicago pond and then continued to attack until the man drowned. Anthony Hensley, 37, used the swans to keep geese away from properties and was in a kayak checking on the animals Sunday morning when one of the swans swam at him, causing him to fall out of his kayak into the water. The swan reportedly continued to chase Hensley after he fell into the water, and by the time rescuers arrived, he had drowned. Investigators believe Hensley had traveled too close to the swan or swan's nesting area, prompting the attack.
They're not giving the whole story. The guy mustn't have been able to swim.
Well, no, I would imagine if he's out in a kayak, he could swim.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. It's very strange.
But those swans are big, powerful birds. I mean, they're...
Yeah.
But either way, I mean...
It's tragic.
It's tragic.
It's horrible.
But I think it shows how fleeting life is and how we never know when the Lord is going to call our day to stand before him. I mean, I'm sure this young man, prime of life, had no idea that day as he was kayaking, he would within moments be standing before the Lord. Mark?
Cross over to Mark. Hey, I've got something to say about that. Mark, I can rescue you.
Yeah.
You know, the swan is one of the most beautiful creatures on earth. I mean, just delicate, gentle, wonderful. They are nasty dudes. Jacob and his little kid got attacked by a swan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're nasty. But it epitomizes the fact that we live in a fallen creation. This most beautiful, elegant, swan-like ballet creature attacks the guy and causes him to die. And just think of it. You bend down, pluck a rose, and you prick your finger and start bleeding. You sniff it, and a bee stings you. You go for a swim in the ocean, and a shark bites your leg off. And we live in a fallen creation. All around us, the whole of creation is groaning in travail.
Yeah. We're going to move on.
I think we better.
Mark!
No, leave Mark alone.
Leave Mark alone.
He's having an attack.
This is from Grant in New Zealand.
Okay.
So let's grant him an audience here.
Okay, that's good.
His question. See, I tried to do that.
It was very good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was handed a copy of your 180 video here in Auckland a month or so ago. I watched it, having no idea you guys got me.
Oh, don't you start. You are the anchor. You're the rock. Okay, now come on. You can do this. Oh dear. Anyway,
I watched it having no idea of the content. Subsequently, I was led...
We might have to cut to a break.
We don't get those here. Mark Scott.
We're men.
Subsequently, I was led to YouTube video of your open-air preaching, heartchanger.com, and your Way of the Master daily videos. I have now...
Oh, dear.
I have now listened to most of your Way of the Master shows from 2012. Usually while at work, your team produces a good show. And you all offer very interesting points of view. Mark, in particular, seems very well spoken.
Not today.
I am agnostic myself. Okay, let's focus. I'm agnostic myself, and I believe I have an open mind. I thoroughly enjoy hearing viewpoints across the spectrum of spirituality and in general, enjoy exploring new understandings and increasing my knowledge across the board. My question, however, is not directly related to myself, but a friend of a friend. I don't know her personally, but am reasonably friendly with our mutual acquaintance, and I am extremely interested to hear your views on this. The woman in question is a devout Christian and heavily against abortion. She is unfortunate enough to have some fertility issues. Her husband and her had been trying for a baby for close to 4 years when she found out that she was pregnant. Shortly after this, approximately 3 months later, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Due to her keeping a close proximity to her physician from the pregnancy, the cancer was found in a fairly early stage. The doctors have told her that she has a high chance of survival through chemotherapy, but this treatment would kill the child. This is an incredibly horrible situation to be in for anyone, and more so due to her strong pro-life stance. As far as I know, the husband and her are currently weighing up the whole situation still and haven't made a decision yet. Look forward to hearing your thoughts. This is as tough as it gets. What do you think, Rick?
I think we have to cross the mark for this one.
Mark.
Boy, you know, it's I've never heard of such a situation. I'm not sure what exactly chemotherapy is going to do to the baby. I still don't think that gives anybody the right to go in and kill the baby. I know that there's miraculous story after miraculous story of women that have come forward when doctors have attempted to terminate a pregnancy and the parent has said, no, I want to go ahead and have this baby, and the baby has lived. And why would we think just because a baby is handicapped that handicapped child is no longer human? Or because that person who's now handicapped is not like everybody else, that child is not normal because that child has a speech impediment or that person has no hand. I guarantee you're going to find all kinds of people out there that are thankful for their life just to be alive, even though they might be dismembered to some degree. I think of Nick Vujicic, I think his name is. He was born with no arms, no legs. I think it was Limbs Without Limit or Life Without Limbs, something along those lines. Boy, you can't take away his life. He wants to live. So I don't think there's ever a probable cause to terminate a pregnancy for the benefit of the mom. Now, with that said, you move forward to always protect the mom. And if in doing so, that terminates the pregnancy, that is entirely different. And the example that we've given on times past is if there is a car that is on fire and you have a bystander running inside the vehicle and grabbing a hold of the mom, looks over at a child in the back seat and decides to kill the child because he can only save the other, I don't think that's a legitimate excuse. You need to grab a hold of the child and see if you can save the other person. You know, I mean, that's always the way. You always save one, and at the same time, you're trying to save the other. But you don't kill one while you try to save the other. I don't think that is legitimate in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Mark, sometime when we've got more time, you might like to share that testimony of one of your babies. And Harry's grown up to be a wonderful kid, and how the doctors said to terminate the pregnancy or something because Laura's life was in danger or something like that. It's an incredible testimony.
Okay. All right, we've got just a couple minutes left. Let's see. This is from Nick. Segment 8, if you guys are
Yes,
looking on.
it's after segment 7.
Yes, of course. Hey, love the show. Just watched a witnessing clip where Ray said a common witnessing cliche. I don't know if it's a cliche. He asked the people he was witnessing to if they would sell their eye for $1 million or both their eyes for $10 million. And I don't know if I'm just crazy or don't understand the question, but when he said that, I instantly said, yes, I would, for sure. Wouldn't think twice about it. I know most people say no, and I'm wondering if I have a wrong view of this or don't understand the question. Thanks a bunch.
You won't have any view of it if you sell both your eyes. I mean, I can understand someone selling one eye, but not both their eyes, because what are you going to do with your millions of dollars? Sit at home and count your money in the darkness? Your eyes are absolutely priceless. I've always said this, and I've used the words very carefully. No one in his right mind would ever consider selling both his eyes for $100 million. So I don't think you're in your right mind, Nick. So think about it. Think how precious those eyes are and what you'd do with $1 million or $10 million if you were utterly blind.
It could be that Nick is seeing the quality of life based on how many dollars he has in his pocket. He may be, and we don't know Nick. You know, that he could be a believer. Maybe he's not. We don't know anything about him. But anyone who would jump at the chance to give up both of their eyes to be rich, their God is money.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
They would much rather have money that they could still feel and maybe smell depending on where it's been, but they can't see it. You can't see anything you've purchased with it.
No.
But you just have a love of money.
Yeah.
And if you love money so much, shouldn't you love your soul even more, which will continue forever?
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck?
I remember Scrooge McDuck.
I remember Scrooge
He used
McDuck,
to have
but
a
I don't
swimming
remember.
pool full of money. He'd dive through and swim through the money, and that was his.
Don't remember that part.
Yeah.
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 Mark, any thoughts before we take off?
Nope.
Mark
Thanks,
has no
Mark.
thoughts before we take off. Hey, we want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your patience as we desperately tried to get through the entire show.
Mary Tyler Moore, one of the shows is Bozo
World, big time!
Bozo
Who
the
can
Clown.
turn the world on with her smile?
Throw your hat up. Yeah,
Whoa.
so look up, I think it's Bozo the Clown, and you'll see an instant where she went to a funeral and got the giggles. And it's the most popular, most funny show on television. I think there's something slightly smutty in the beginning, but other than that, it's a very, very cleverly written, funny show. It's supposed to be the funniest ever produced in a sitcom, but it's what happened to us during the show, and we do apologize because Tony's usually a rock,
Soft rock.
not quivering jelly.
Till tomorrow, be encouraged, strengthened, and unafraid. Proclaim the gospel.
You're full of it! Living Waters presents On the Box.